What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I'm going to talk about a story that broke yesterday evening, and it's about a 13-year-old boy out of Detroit. I think it's the Livonia area, and he was attacked by a grown man at a rec center. Now, I'm going to play this video clip and come back and talk about it. There are four things I really want to talk about with this story, but I want you to see this first. And tell me, guys, what you think and how you would handle it. And make sure you leave this in the comment because I think this is a good video for conversation. Check it out.
Rashawn Black still can't believe the nightmare her son Kenneth Black Jr. was forced to experience at this Livonia rec center.
I said, wait, this grown man attacked my son? And he said, get the f on.
That violent command from this man, Moez Irfan, at the rec center after he violently attacked Black's son June 8th, 2 days before his 14th birthday, and it was all caught on video.
I didn't see a bump, but it could have been a bump. But my son said he kind of like brushed his shoulder and the guy just started saying racial stuff to him. You not gonna say excuse me?
Livonia police are still investigating, but the initial reports show that the 29-year-old bumped into the teen, then shouted racial slurs at him and hit him in the head multiple times.
My son was just crying, and they had like bandages and stuff on his head.
And this mom says the staff at the rec center allegedly did not do much to stop the attack.
I'm confused, because I don't know why them people didn't help my baby.
When police arrived, Moez resisted arrest, but was eventually subdued by multiple officers and taken into custody. He was also transported to a local hospital for a psychiatric evaluation.
I just broke down crying, and I was just angry.
This is not the first heartache Rashawn Black has had to endure. In 2015, her 20-year-old daughter, Rhonda Davis, was found dead, her body burned and left in a stolen van in Detroit.
All right, guys, that was the news article. Let me be honest with you. I don't think it was mental illness. I just think it was the right time, the right situation, the right time for Mr. Irfan or Moez Irfan, who's 29 years old, by the way, to exert himself as a man against a child. There are four things I'm going to talk about in this video that piss me off. And the first thing is this. You knew that was a kid, bro. You could not tell me you didn't know that was a boy. Yeah, he was tall, but you knew that was a kid. I think when he bumped into him or they bumped into each other, and this happens all the time. Guys always do that. Usually somebody will say, hey, I'm sorry, or, you know, I stand with what the kid said. You seen when Mr. Irfan got bumped, he turned around immediately, yo. That's the wrong approach when you're dealing with men, because men, we know your fluctuation of your voice and what come out your mouth is very critical to whether it's going to or not going to be physical violence or the threat of physical violence. So I stand with the kid on what he said when they showed the video. Second thing is you tried to pound cake him and couldn't even drop him. Now, if you go back and look at the video, when he went up there and hit the dude, the only reason why the boy couldn't get away, because every time he was hitting the boy was trying to recover. And you see that a lot when two guys fight, especially when one is not trying to fight, he's trying to recover and keep his balance. He got caught up on that rope stands where he couldn't really move. That's when he got the brunt of getting hit. But I'm gonna tell you something. That's part one. He wouldn't have did that to somebody his age. I guarantee you. That's why a lot of people say, oh, it's mental. It's mental illness. It wasn't mental illness. He just bullied the boy. He thought, you know. See, because a lot of times these men that do stuff like this, they have a problem with younger people to where no matter what a kid says, it makes them mad because they have a problem with young people, period, where they want to just hurt them. And I think this is the case. Point number two. This brings me to point number two. They giving him a psychiatric evaluation for what? He attacked that dude because he knew he could beat him when he was a kid. It's funny how people are crazy but they always remember the N-word and use racial slurs. It's like, you're crazy enough to attack a kid, but you're also sane enough to insult them with racial epithets. Not feeling it. Honestly, if I was there and any other black dude that probably was there, even though it's not my business, if I seen that man hitting on that kid, I would have had to get involved. And if I heard him say the N-word, it would have been on like hot butter popcorn. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you? We don't do that in public. With your head cracked. It's messed up. You fought on a child. You're a bitch. That's a coward move. That's the only way I see it. I want to tell you something. The lady said, I can't believe no one stopped him from fighting on my son or her baby. Looking at the camera, I don't know who was in there, none of us do. But this is a fact, and a lot of people need to understand this. Women will not physically try to break up a fight with two men when they are engaged in fisticuffs and they throwing them things. They won't. I mean, very rarely you'll see somebody do it, like a wife might jump in it or whatever, and you gotta be like, get out the way. But naturally, they're not gonna get involved in that because it's brutal. I don't know if you've ever seen two dudes punching as hard as they can and swinging all over the place. Nobody want to go through that rolling ball of butcher knives. I could never understand people like, hey man, when people get to fighting, especially nowadays where everybody tells you to mind your business and all this other stuff, and jumping in a fight and breaking a fight up can cost you your life. You're going to see a lot more of this now, whether it's guys or women or whatever, because it's just the way the world is. People don't want to get involved because they don't understand why people do what they do. And the level of violence now that's being seen in public, it makes a lot of people not want to deal with it. That's just one of the things. And that's messed up about how society is and how, like, people just now just don't care. They'll do whatever they got to do and then take their chances with trying to get away and not get caught by the police. The last thing I want to say real quick before I get out of here, I get ready for the live stream. She suffered loss before. This is point 4. She suffered loss before, and the loss she suffered before was horrific. I remember this story a long time ago where her daughter was in a car and was burned up. That's a bad thing to deal with. Now, I don't know the situation. I don't know if she stayed in the same area as she did before. And this might not be to her, but I just want to say this because it made me think about this. A lot of people suffer devastating, mentally draining trauma, and they still exist in the same area. People lose children in neighborhoods that are unsafe. And it's like they'll lose one, and then years later, they lose another one, then another one, then another one. And I'm like, why don't they just move? Now, I know everybody doesn't have the resources to move, but your mindset should change to where, this is just my opinion, I got to get my kids out of here. I did that a few times when I seen the neighborhoods changing where my children was, and I was rushing to get on my feet so I could grab all my kids again. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm not bashing or anything like that. That just ponders in my mind, like, people stay in areas that are not conducive for good growth for the children sometimes, but they still stay there. And it's like, a lot of people say, oh, well, people can't afford to get out of it. At certain times you can, because you come across money. Even the poorest people come across money all the time. Our mindset or what we put as priority offsets the reality that we in sometimes. I just wanted to share that. But guys, I'm about to get ready for this live stream to be up in about 40 minutes. And I appreciate you guys stopping by and taking time with me. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If this is your first and last time seeing me, you have a good 4th of July weekend, because it's Friday. I'll holla.